there. All right. And now we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So you should be able to see yes, truly getting into it. And you are able to interact and engage through the comment section, which I'm happy to post as it comes up. All right. And let's see. All right. I see we already got someone. If you are coming in on the live, please go ahead and put your comments and say hello, shout out to us. I know you're out there and I would love to reference you, and you can use those avenues to go ahead and share your thoughts as we get into the conversation. Now, what I want to do right now is to go ahead and share your thoughts as we get. Let's mute that there. Let's go ahead and mute that. There we go. All right. And so what we want to do right now is to let me get the link. That's what we want to do. We want to go ahead and view. There we go. And we want to post the link for the peoples. So give me a second right there. Get that link. All right. I think I had posted it before, but it's possible I did not because that happens. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay. YouTube Live. And so that's going to be posted on Twitter for y'all. And I might be getting unsolicited co-hosts in the name of the Junior Oparas, y'all, because that just happens because it's just me at the house right now. And you might be hearing some of their voices coming in because that's just how it go when you are walking at home. Your little queen, unsolicited co-hosts come on up in here as if the multitasking isn't real enough. All right. And one of them just did that. Okay. So, y'all, welcome. This is what it means to be a Black working woman trying to do good things in the world. Is you get these realities and what you're gonna do, but to be all right with it, just go with the flow. My name is Dr. Ijeoma Nnadem Para, and I am your host for this roundtable, Anti-Racism in Medicine Action Roundtable, #AimArt. My pronouns are she, her, and all, and I'm calling in from the original unceded lands of the Three Fires people, the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi in the territory of Wauyatanong or Detroit, the 313. I also recognize and honor my Igbo, African, and African diaspora ancestors in this space. And not just my ancestors, but also our communities and our descendants forthcoming even in this moment. Y'all, I'm a physician, scholar, scientist, artist, activist, coach, consultant, mama, as you can hear and see at this moment, and wifey. In my personal, professional, and business mission in life is to dismantle the delusional systems of white supremacism by eliminating anti-Black racism from medicine, healthcare, and public health, while centering and celebrating Black brilliance, Black joy, and Black abundance. I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here. And again, welcome to the Roundtable, #AimArt, Anti-Racism in Medicine Action Roundtable. And just to sort of, orient for those who are new, it's always important to repeat who we are and our mission. And that is that we are a transdisciplinary community of unapologetically Black, unapologetically pro-Black, Black liberatory, Pan-African, Afrocentric, Afro-optimist space. And that is as a community, we celebrate and center Black magic, Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black truth, joy, strength, assets, abundance, possibilities, creativity, and freedom dreaming. We are committed to developing the innovative knowledge, wisdom, skills, and attitudes to inform the transformative actions that are necessary towards eliminating anti-Black racism from medicine, healthcare, and public health. Y'all, we meet weekly on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we also used to be on Clubhouse. Now we consolidated all this on Twitter Space, which has been amazing. And there's some materials that we can share later up on the Jumbotron for y'all to enjoy. I want to always shout out our partners because we believe in partnership here. One of our principles is Ubuntu, which is I Am Because We Are Community and the Power of It. And so shout out to Brother Sinclair Skinner of ILoveBlackPeople.com. Check out that website, lots of good stuff there. Shout out to the Canada US Coalition to End Race Correction in Healthcare, Q Search, which I am the proud co-chair along with my sister Lana James, who's usually with us every week. But we have someone amazing, outstanding that is going to represent that Canadian perspective on today. You'll be meeting her shortly. And always remember, at the end of the day, what happens in the US, honey, doesn't just stop at the border. It is this issue of the delusional system of white supremacism and the anti-blackness on which it is founded is a global phenomenon. We say that over and over and over again. So understanding its reach, just even in this hemisphere of North America. All right. And so we're talking Canada, we're talking Mexico, we're talking all the other regions, the rest of the Americas, the Caribbean is very, very critical in our analysis and in our strategizing. All right. So shout out to soon to be Dr. Lana James and Dr. Abdulahi, who's here. You'll meet in a bit. All right. And also shout out to Hood Medicine Initiative, headed by amazing, wonderful siblings, particularly Sister Dr. Nisi Hudson. And always shout out to all you magnificent, beautiful, glorious, highly, royally melanated brothers, sisters, siblings, family doing the work of Black liberation all over the world, of justice, of equity, in every sphere, in every discipline and sector, because it's all intersectional, isn't it? What happens in medicine and healthcare, what happens in public health, it speaks to what's happening in housing. It speaks to what's happening in food. It speaks to what's happening in education. It's all interrelated. It's all interdependent. So thank you and shout out to you. We celebrate the work that you're doing from the grassroots to the grass tops, regardless of discipline, of your discipline, as it relates to our collective liberation, as it collects to our justice and equity. And we also, of course, celebrate our ancestors, our current folks, and the descendants to come. So very short housekeeping before we get into it. And that is the Jumbotron. We stay live on the Jumbotron, y'all. We are on this Jumbotron, posting resources, disseminating, sharing. So please pay attention to the Jumbotron. Feel free to help yourself to the resources and to the materials that will be posted on there. Feel free to yourself post. And if you're not able to, just send it to your girl and she will get that posted. Your girl, meaning me, will get that posted for you on the Jumbotron. Okay, there'll be calls to action on there and a wealth of materials. So please feel free to share any gems or resources that you hear, any sort of things that really motivate you and inspire you from being in this roundtable. I want to encourage you to go ahead and tweet it out and tag us, hashtag AIMART, tag myself, tag the speaker so we can retweet and amplify. I want to encourage you to go ahead and retweet, hashtag AIMART so that we can get trending up in this platform, folks, so folks understand that our voice truly matters. Again, as always, invite your friends, invite your frenemies and your straight up enemies, invite your in-laws and your cousins and them, invite your exes, invite all your people to this space. Let them come listen and participate. Okay. And feel free to DM me if you have any questions, comments, resources, feedback you want to share. Sometimes the tech don't want us to be great. And so if you can hear or just any of those pieces, I'll be checking my DMs regularly for any notifications for that. Okay. All right. So with that and realizing that the little queen that crawled into my lap has finally gone to sleep. Her name is Chimamanda Ngozi Opara. She was named after the author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I don't know if you don't know that sister. You better know that sister. And just as I was getting ready to put her down, don't you know she opened her eyes? So clearly she ain't sleep. So let's keep it moving. I think she heard her voice. I was like, up, I'm up. All right. What does mama need me to do? Okay. So what are we going to get into on today? We are talking about reparations as healthcare. So I'm going to give a little bit of background and then bring in our co-hosts and speakers who are going to lead us in the conversation. We're going to have a short convo amongst ourselves, and then we'll open it up to the community, to the village, to discuss in terms of how we move forward. And so there's been a lot of conversation about reparations, and what we have not really amplified in that conversation is how it's been critical in the health space, how reparations, the debt owed to American descendants of enslaved Africans, right, is critical in closing the gap when it comes to health, right? How that link is extremely strong in the conversations around racial health disparities. There is that very loud gap in which folks are hesitant to put their feet in those waters, no matter how much of a quote unquote ally. You already know my relationship to that word. It ain't good. Or how folks who are liberal or progressive and who are white in all good intentions still fail to understand the critical role that reparations are fighting for that will play and does play when it comes to the health outcomes of Black communities in the States and frankly all over. All right. But we're contextualizing to the States and North America in this moment. And so, what does that look like? What does that look like to understand reparations? What does that look like to understand its role in terms of closing the racial health disparities gap, right? And answering those questions. And what does that look like in terms of the outcomes and on what the implementation could begin to be in this moment in time. I want to set the stage by reading this wonderful write up that was written by Sophia Scott in December of 2021, A Debt Owed, The Case for Reparations in the Wake of COVID-19. And when I'm done, and as our speakers, we are getting acclimated and introduced to our speakers, I will be posting them on the Jumbotron. Y'all, I already tweeted them out, I think throughout the week, and I believe this morning, and I will get them on the Jumbotron when I'm done. All right. But for now, it's good enough for you to listen. And this is a write up, which was the article titled A Debt Owed, The Case for Reparations in the Wake of COVID-19. I'm going to just read an excerpt, and you are welcome to read the rest of it. Hopefully, you already have when you get a hold of it, as I post all of these that we'll be referencing on the Jumbotron. And so here we go. Quote, last summer, while the world watched in horror as a police officer knelt on the neck of George Floyd, an unarmed father of 5, my community's gaze turned toward another atrocity unfolding right before our eyes. COVID-19 has disproportionately devastated African American communities, as Black people in the United States are twice as likely to die, and I say be killed, as a result of contracting COVID-19, and people of color constitute a significant portion of the frontline workers who bear the brunt of exposure to the virus. The whirlwind events of 2020, including the pandemic, George Floyd's murder, and the subsequent resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, brought the topics of institutionalized discrimination, racism, and oppression to the forefront of national discussions regarding equality, causing the subject of reparations to dominate public consciousness like never before. For example, as the novel coronavirus preys especially on individuals with underlying conditions, the outbreak has revealed the large-scale impact of structural racism on the health of African Americans nationwide. According to a peer-reviewed study conducted by Harvard researchers, if the United States had paid reparations to the descendants of enslaved Black Americans, the risk of severe illness and death from the virus would be far lower. In some cases, even diminishing statewide coronavirus transmission by up to 68%. This study's findings reinforce the burgeoning evidence-based philosophy that reparations can significantly combat systemic racism in the United States. However, despite intense national conversations and public demonstrations in recent years surrounding anti-racist messaging, progressives have yet to pursue meaningful legislative solutions to the systemic issues they denounce, particularly by neglecting the idea of reparations. Last paragraph. Will financial restitution eradicate prejudice or pervasive racial hatred in American society? Certainly not. But it will undoubtedly aid in closing the enormous divide between Black and white American wealth, and in turn diminish racial gaps in education, healthcare, employment, and housing access. Implementing comprehensive reparations will not only guarantee compensation for the unpaid forced labor that Black people supplied for over 200 years, but also diminish the wealth gap between white and Black Americans facilitated by discriminatory US government laws. It would also atone for the moral debt owed to Black Americans after centuries of plunder and oppression. It would also atone for what? The moral debt owed to Black Americans after centuries of plunder and oppression. Y'all, to get us all up into this discussion on today, I am beyond honored to welcome to the roundtable as co-hosts Ms. Allison Gaines and Dr. Abdulahi from Toronto. Ms. Allison is from none other than the Louisiana, where the study that's referenced by the write-up I just referenced, I just read an excerpt from, was based. And Louisiana holds a very special role in this conversation. All right, we just lost connection to Twitter Space. What happened? Right. We're going to go on pause. All right. I want to apologize to our live because we just lost connection with Twitter. So we're going to go ahead and open the space again. So with that, go ahead and enjoy some music for our live folks while we open up the space on Twitter. apologize for what happened. Um, Sister Allison, is it better? I got some feedback that it was bad. I really apologize. I am working on multiple things to get my sound together. So many apologies um, for that. So I know folks are coming in and we're just gonna get into it, okay? And so I don't know what folks were able to hear, but I just kind of gave a background and I'll be posting those on the Jumbotron so you can sort of familiarize yourself to the material, even though I apologize that you weren't able to hear it. And hopefully it was better on the live so that you all can always, go back. This is being recorded here on Twitter Space and it's on live as well. So you can catch up with whatever was missed. And again, my sincerest apologies for any technical issues. I'm still learning, and I know Twitter is also still learning. So, with that, we are here to talk about what reparations looks like as healthcare, as a healthcare policy. What does it look like to design health and healthcare policies with reparations in mind? As a critical means to addressing racial health disparities, as a critical means to closing that racial health gap that seems to continue to persist and none more demonstrated than by COVID-19. And so, with that, I want to first of all introduce my amazing sister, Dr. Abdulahi, from Canada, who does amazing work. Sis, I want to invite you to let the people know about how amazing and glorious and powerful you are and the work that you do and why it's so critical that your voice is in this conversation. Please go ahead.
All right. I guess I can introduce myself. I couldn't hear the end of what you were saying, right? But you said for us to introduce ourselves, correct?
You couldn't hear me. I'm still not coming in clear.
Now you are, but for some reason, like the last bit of what you said, I couldn't hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I had invited Dr. Abdulahi to come on in. Dr. Abdulahi, can you hear me? Okay, go ahead, Miss Allison. Go ahead.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Allison Gaines. I'm a writer, editor, and Black scholar. I'm one of the co-founders of WOKE, which stands for Writers and Editors of Color, and I am the editor-in-chief of my own publication, Cultured, a publication where writers get to redefine culture through their writing. Currently, I'm pursuing a PhD in psychology, and my dissertation topic, if approved, would explore the differences in race-based and gender-based affirmative action programs. So I want to thank Dr. Ijeoma so much for hosting this wonderful space every Saturday, and for the AMART community for allowing me to speak and working with you guys today. And if you would like to connect with me, you can feel free to privately message me.
Thank you so much, Sister Allison. And can you hear me? And y'all, this might be a short one today. I'm truly sorry. We're going to have to do a lot of tech work. I don't know why the sound is not cooperating today, to be honest with you. I'm going to try and figure a few things out. But with that being said, Sister Allison, we like to honor sort of where we're sitting today emotionally. And so, how would you say you are feeling? We like to make space for Black joy, but we also uplift whatever is going on with us in this given moment. Go ahead, Sister Allison. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think at this moment, I feel like I'm feeling, of course, it's kind of like a sad time, especially to be like a Black woman in America, where our healthcare and that type of access to care is being decimated. So not only were things bad, but they're getting worse. And but I also think I feel inspired by a lot of the work I've seen in academia.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Oh, okay. It seems I'm having quite a bit of tech difficulties. We may have to cancel today, to be honest, and fix it and come back next week or sometime this week, reschedule. Because I cannot hear anybody. If you can hear me, go ahead and put your emojis up. Put a heart in the air if you can hear me. Okay, well, hello to the live folks out there. I want to apologize. We were having so many difficulties. The Twitter space keeps crashing, and that's where we hold our um, you know um, that's where most our audience is mostly. So I want to apologize for this issue and want to say we will reschedule this conversation when we have some tech support and get it together. So thank you so much for taking the time for being with us today, and look forward to seeing you all at our next AIM Art conversation and roundtable. I truly am sorry. I don't know what happened. Twitter space keeps crashing. So I apologize for that. All right. My love, again, go out there, build community, build power, love yourselves and love each other. And that's what we do here. But reparations is a key component of all, should be, ought to be, and we need to work towards ensuring that reparations is a key component to all health and healthcare policies if we want to truly uh, address racial health disparities in this country. And my argument is in the world when it comes to global health policies, etc. Okay, if we are truly about it, having those conversations. But in the meantime, we will reschedule and let you know when we do. Many blessings to you.